Hey, my Nakama. Welcome back to Chapter 12, Dog. So to start off, remember, Buggy's angry. He's sending his friend Moji and Richie to go get Luffy. Zoro drags the cage with Luffy in it as far as he can before he just tires out from all the blood loss and just passes out right in the middle of the street. At the same point, there's just a dog kind of just sitting there, and Luffy's like, what's up with this dog? And Zoro's like, I don't know, he's a dog. He's sitting there, and he's like, is he dead? So like Luffy pokes him in the eyes because he thinks he's either dead or just a stuffed dog, and then the dog clamps on to Luffy's face and just starts biting him. Nami comes by and is like, hey, not to criticize you guys, but you know, we're running from Buggy, and hiding in the middle of the street, not the brightest idea that you guys could have came up with. And she's like, you know what? She's like, I left behind all the treasures, the map and everything, but here. And she throws down the key on the ground. She's like, I got you the key. And everyone's like, yeah, we got the key. Everything's going to be fine. And then the dog goes, Thump, and eats it. And Luffy's like, ah, give it back, give it back. Then the mayor of the deserted town shows up. And he's like, hey, leave that dog alone. Turns out the mayor already grabbed Zoro. And he put him inside because he knew that Zoro was hurt and that he needed rest. Like, they asked, hey, what's up with this dog? Like, everyone in the town's gone, but this dog's still standing, like, almost at guard in front of this pet shop store. And he's like, well, then the mayor said, about 10 years ago, a good friend of mine, he used to own this shop. He said, this is his dog. Anyway, Nami and Luffy are like, well, why doesn't the dog just go back with his master at the refugee camp where all you guys fled? And the guy's like, well, he's like, you know, a couple months ago, he got sick and he couldn't handle it and he passed on. So, and they're like, oh, so the dog just thinks that the master's coming back. And it almost makes me think of Futurama and like and Seymour, and Seymour just waiting for Fry to come back and he just never comes back. This was actually written before that, so not like One Piece capitalizes on sad dog stories. I mean, Old Yeller, there's probably 50 million other ones. But anyway, the mayor says, no, I don't think that he's staying here. He said, I think he knows that his master's dead. I think he's guarding this because it's the last thing that he has of his master to hold on to his master. Now, in the midst of all this conversation, Moji and Richie show up, and he's like, oh, you? He's like, that boy in the cage? He's like, I don't even care. He said, you're just junk. He's like, you're just a thief. He said, I want Roanoke Zoro. He said, so, and Luffy kind of says a few hateful things. They go back and forth and everything. And he tells Richie's the lion, to go ahead and bite down and just kill him, like crunch the cage. And when he goes to bite down, he busts open the cage. And by a miracle feat, or was it skill, Luffy kind of gets out of the way a little bit, scoots back to the back of the cage as far as he can, and it busts open, and Luffy is free out of the cage now. Now, of course, since Luffy's out of the cage, you're thinking, oh man, he's just going to bust all over this guy's ass because Luffy's just a super strong guy like that, and he might. That might be what happens. Here's the thing, though, because I don't want you guys who haven't read One Piece to think that Luffy doesn't get his fair shares of ass-kickings himself, because, I mean, it's not like a lot of these other things where he's indestructible and just nothing happens. I mean, there's a lot of shit that goes down to Luffy, I mean, later on and everything. I think at this point, they're trying to size him up, like, make you really enjoy the character and everything like that. But, find out what happens soon.